Robert, are you an offensive lineman eager to get in pads so you can actually do a little bit more football?
Oh, definitely. The first few days in helmets was, a bit off-putting. Had to tone it down a little bit. And today and yesterday were a lot better being in shells, but we're definitely ready to put in full pads and get some good work in.
Has it been much of an adjustment moving from left tackle to right tackle for you?
It's not too bad. I've done it a few times before, so that makes it easier. It's more just readjusting techniques and getting your body used to it, but otherwise it's the same.
For someone who's not an offensive line expert, is it literally as simple as just flipping everything in your head from one side to the other, or is it a lot more to it?
Well, flipping the plays isn't too hard. It's really training your body to be on the other side, because obviously everything's coming off the other side of your body, and you don't have the same coordination.
What is the biggest challenge there, Robert? Is it the first step? Is it the hand placement? What is
the biggest challenge is coordinating all of those things. You can focus on one thing at a time every day, but one little technique will let you down and get you beat, especially going up against somebody like going against Carl Lawson every day. One little thing will get you beat, so I'll fix something one day, and the first play I get it fixed, he beats me with something else I did wrong. So it's a challenge, but I'm thankful to be working with him. So.
Coach Handler talked about that everybody focuses on the blind side tackle and left side, but that if you're not good on the right side either, that the Von Millers of the world will make that awfully difficult on you. I'm sure he's kind of preached the same message to you. Has he communicated to you just how important?
I think it's kind of a given. The offensive line's more of a unit, and it's like if you have one weak link, the whole thing falls down. So I think that was kind of highlighted by the example you gave. I think people kind of realized how that stereotype of the left tackle, it has some urgency and some weight to it, but the entire unit really is what matters.
Robert, for you, the excitement, you've been kind of pushing towards your shot. Now your shot's getting closer. You kind of feel yourself kind of building towards that now?
Oh, definitely. I'm getting really pumped for the season, Clemson game. Everything working, getting back on the field again in Jordan-Hare. I'm getting excited.
Talk about Coach Hand, what type of coach he is for the offensive line.
Well, I particularly like Coach Hand because he brings a ton of energy every day. And it's not always positive, energy that you want sometimes when he's chewing you out, but it's always energy that's going to get you better, and he's coaching everybody hard, whether it's one of the young guys or some of the front five. He always pushes us. Another thing I'm really impressed with is that he shows us examples. He'll show us what to do, and then he'll show us a clip of an NFL player doing it and succeeding against a really good defensive player in the NFL. So it's easy to implement the techniques when you know that they're founded in something that works.
How different was this off season for you? A lot of off seasons you come in trying to kind of fight your way in. You come in this off season maybe at the top spot. How different was this one for you in terms of preparation or just mentally?
Well, I would say this off season, I've still been striving to obviously get a lot better, and I don't feel like I've made it to the top of the chain in any sense, because I still see my flaws and see the areas I need to improve in, and they've always been there and they're still there. But being a senior is really what has impacted this offseason and really made me go the extra mile in everything I've been doing. And it gives you a whole different sense of perspective.
Robert, can you talk about the offensive line as a group? What kind of attention you have? Also, it's a pretty veteran group, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a really experienced group, and I think that's going to lend well to the season. I really like the chemistry we have together. All of us have been working together for a while. We don't really have any newcomers to the line. I really like the shape that our line is in, and of course we have things to fix, but looks good for now.
Robert, I think it would be a fair assessment that all three of these quarterbacks in this battle are kind of different personality-wise. Is that difficult for the offensive line to kind of get a gel with, or is it good? Do you guys kind of roll with whoever's back there?
Yeah, to be honest with you, half the time I don't even know who's back there. We're more focused on doing our job, and if we do our job, that gives them a chance for their job to be successful. So They all three bring different things to the table, but they're all three very good at those things too. So to answer your question, I'd say, you know, as long as we do our job, if the person back there is getting it done, it doesn't make much of a difference.
Robert, you talked about the transition from left to right. How far along do you think you are in that transition? You think you've done it all the way now?
I still have some things to work on, for sure. But, I mean, I feel pretty comfortable in the right side.
You mentioned not many newcomers. There is one, Prince Tega. I mean, he's a guy that, you know, was a defensive guy last year. You had to maybe in bowl practice block against. Now he's made the move. What do you see out of him very early? I mean, he's, you know, making a complete
Well, you know, I
transition.
see a really motivated and driven guy, and I really like him. And I'm coaching him up, and he's coming along surprisingly fast for a guy who's never really played that much football and has never even played offensive line before. So I think a few years down the road, you're going to see some good things from him.
Oh, have you been asked to go against Jeffrey Holland very much?
Yeah, I'm going up against Jeff Holland a lot.
Is he, I mean, in high school, he was pretty dirty. I mean, he was rough on people. Is he pretty hard to deal with?
I mean, he's a player. He doesn't play dirty
Why?
necessarily against us, but
Well, you can see maybe in the situation, he could,
that's the game of football.
Robert, who would you say is the second best pass rusher on the team behind Carlos?
Jeff,
Jeff is.
I would say.
What makes him so difficult?
In a way, both Carl and Jeff are extremely good at the outside pass rush, and Jeff isn't quite as good at taking on the run as Carl is, but I'd say they're near equals as far as the outside rush. Carl has a bit more diversity as far as his moves, but Jeff's still a challenging pass rusher to block.
Rob, there's been a lot of talk on just the defensive line in general. I mean, since you've been here, does it seem like it's the deepest, most talented that you've seen?
There is a ton of depth. I mean, we were kind of talking about the third string group of defensive linemen that are kind of rotating in right now, and I mean, we got walk-ons on our offensive line that are blocking 5 stars on the third string defensive line. So they do have a lot of depth, and I think that's going to prove well for our defense. I'm excited to see what they can do this year.
All right.
Sure, appreciate it.
Thanks, Robert.
Thank you.
All right.